Thank you for inviting me. Today I'm just going to talk to you about a study where we're looking at the feasibility of using the smokefree app in early intervention service users. So I won't go about the background too much. You're all really aware of the inequality in health. So with the current shift, we've got looking at digital health in NHS services. So they're quite less resourceful, quite easy to do out. So that's why the shift's gone. But it's whether or not it can be used in mental health services. So that's where we were really interested in looking at the feasibility of whether it could be used at early intervention service users. And we focused on 18 to 35 because we thought it's a younger population and they might have a bit more experience with technology. So we did a narrative review looking at smoke-free apps for people with schizophrenia. And we found promising results that it was actually feasible to use apps. They were positive, they enjoyed the apps, but they felt that apps could be tailored to them. They wanted apps to link to mental health, highlight how they could reduce their treatment if they lowered their smoking. They wanted people with mental health experience to provide real-time support. And they also wanted it to be more motivating and engaging. They found apps that had badges, leaderboards, games. They found this really beneficial. So that's partly why we chose the smoke-free app. So I don't know if everyone's loves Tamagotchi. So for me, it's like a Tamagotchi that you can't kill. And I've got a little bit of video, but this is my dragon, Draco. So the more I interact with the app, the more things I get for Draco. So it was a feasibility study where we aimed to recruit 30 service users across 3 different sites. We asked them to use the app for 6 weeks, as little and often as they like. There's quite a lot of features on the apps, which I'm going to show on the video, and we asked them to use whatever features they want or not. We highlighted this a lot. We said, use what's best for you. Don't feel like you have to use the whole app. We then asked them to complete a questionnaire at base and another one at 6 weeks. And then we also recorded the usage data from the apps, and we also asked them to have an interview at the end. So, see if this works. Ooh. I can talk it through, worst case. Yeah, okay. Oh, so can we go back and then we'll... Right. So this is the smoke-free app. Is it gonna... Yeah, so it's got 5 dashboards. It's got support, diary, cravings, and missions. So it's got milestones, benefits from being health. It's got wall of fames. It's got missions and awards. And then it also has click and track their cravings. And it has advice to do with cravings. The next tab is support. So they have stop smoking advisors who are available 24/7, and they respond in about 2 minutes. We have a quick coach. So this is a robot. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to pause this. We have a quick coach that is an automated response for those that don't want to talk to real-life people. And then the dragon is the game to try and distract them. So you can, there's a game icon where you can do a mind distraction. You can feed him. And like I say, just a bit of fun. Yeah. And then they also have the Let's Chat, Lapse and Relapse. So that's where the smoking cessation advisors hold different topics, and all app users can go on and they can talk to each other and get advice. So I think I should... Yeah, so these are just some of the topics that they have. And then the final tab is diary, where they can enter if they've been smoking, how strong their cravings were. Interestingly, when we showed this to them, they felt the diary was quite overwhelming. So when we enrolled them, we highlighted that you don't have to fill it all out. You can just put if you smoked or not. And then this is the cravings, where they can track it, get advice. And this is just some of the do somethings. And then the missions, each day they get a different mission they can tick off. Yeah, and that's... yeah. So this is just a little bit about a sample. So far we've managed to recruit 20 people to take part in the study. 18 have completed the questionnaire and done the 6 weeks on the study. The main ineligible is the age, we got quite a lot of older people, 36 and 40. We've only had one person that didn't have a smartphone, but that was part of the study's criteria that you had to have a smartphone. And yeah, so I was going to say, yeah, sorry. So the results, so in the review, it focused on the support and features, so I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at what their thoughts were. And they did find it easy to use, but when we did a section of the interview where I asked them to talk me through which features they liked, there was lots of features they did not know were on the app. So this makes me think that actually it's not as easy to use as we think, and if we were to do the study again, we may need to give more support. When we enrolled them, we had quite a big discussion about whether we do a big enrolment and show them all the features, whether we talk them through a basic feature or whether we leave it to them. And in the end, we decided we would do a quick little demonstration on Zoom and then see how they could use the app on their own. They love the dragon. So again, a Tamagotchi. So a lot of people my age, they love the dragon. They found it really engaging. Some people wanted more games though. They wanted more variety of games. We thought privacy might be an issue. None of them were concerned about data privacy. They all felt comfortable. They said they could choose how much data they entered. And also, as we'd promoted it as part of the study, they were confident it was safe to use the app. Just trying to think of the other one, sorry. Just trying to think. Yeah, that was a bad point I wanted to mention. So the one thing that came up was that the app took quite a lot of space. So some people had to delete different apps. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I said, will you keep using this app? And he's like, I would like to, but I've had to delete it because it's too big. So that's something maybe we need to think about with the apps for this group. And we asked about behaviour. So all the people that did the interview, all 5 of them said that their smoking had reduced and one person had even stopped. But the biggest thing for them was they noticed that they wasn't having a cigarette as soon as they woke up. They were going 30 minutes to an hour. So from that, I thought I'd have a look at, see if there was any shift, but it is a very small 18 people. So you can see it does seem like they have stopped a little bit and they are smoking a little bit later. And then when you look at the individual, you can probably tell who took part in the interviews because it's not really happened across the board. So this is where I'm really keen to get the usage data so we can see what part of the apps they're using and we can see, they'll track their smoking so we can get a better idea. Things that I've learned, so when we were recruiting them, they didn't like the term smoke-free. None of them were ready to quit. It was very much smoke less, we're going to reduce smoking. Third time is the charm, so we learned that for them it was because it was a short 6-week intervention. They wanted to do it when they felt they'd be in the best space to get the best results. So we had exams, stag do's, holidays, Christmas. These were all times where they were like, I don't want to be involved in the intervention yet. So I had to keep following them up and seeing when was a good time for them to start the intervention. And then being a young group, we wasn't sure what the technology experience would be like, and it was a real mix. Some people could use Zoom, were really sufficient, didn't need such support. Other people really struggled with opening emails. Next steps, so what I'm really excited about looking at is the usage data. So again, I'm going to focus on the social support. So interestingly, in the interviews, no one used the smoking cessation advisors. Now, in my narrative review, this was the main thing that they wanted. But in the interviews, they said 2 of them said they had social anxiety. So even the thought of just contacting a smoking cessation advisor was too much. But what they did use was they liked the text chat scheduled. So they would look at what other people were saying and get feedback from that. And then one person preferred to just use the robot. So it would be interesting to see what social support features they use. When we asked about getting rid of features, there wasn't any that really stuck out. They kind of liked all of it, and they liked the fact that they could dip in and choose. Yes, and I was going to say, and the final things as well when we're thinking about future studies is potentially providing phones so that they have the data and the space. And that's it. And that's the, yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or Joe. Thank you. Oh, yes, sorry.